Mike Franks had always been a man of instinct. He followed his gut, whether in the field or in his personal life. But when it came to Tish Delgado, his instincts failed him. Their love was born in the shadows of danger, forged in the heat of war, and doomed from the very start. Tish, a fellow agent with a sharp mind and an even sharper tongue, had been one of the few people who could keep up with Franks. Their chemistry was undeniable, their connection electric. But it was also a ticking time bomb. Beginnings in the line of duty, Franks and Tish met during an undercover operation in Mexico. He was already a rising star at NCIS, known for his unorthodox methods, while she had been transferred from the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit to assist in a high-profile cartel case. Their partnership was volatile, full of arguments that often ended with shared smirks and begrudging admiration. They were two sides of the same coin, both stubborn, both fiercely loyal, and both haunted by the ghosts of their pasts. One night, after a near-fatal run-in with a cartel hitman, they found themselves holed up in a safe house. Bloodied and exhausted, Franks poured 2 glasses of tequila, handing one to Tish. "This job's gonna get us both killed," she murmured, staring at the amber liquid. "Then let's make sure we go out with a bang," Franks replied. The first kiss was reckless, desperate, a stolen moment before the storm. Love in the shadows. They tried to keep it professional, they really did. But love had a way of creeping into even the most guarded hearts. Their relationship was a series of stolen moments, late-night rendezvous at dive bars, whispered confessions in the middle of stakeouts, shared cigarettes on rooftops after near-death experiences. Franks found himself softening in ways he never had before. Tish brought out a side of him he didn't know existed, a man who could laugh, who could love without fear. But danger loomed. The cartel they were chasing was ruthless, and their leader, Diego Navarro, had a vendetta against NCIS. One night, Navarro's men ambushed them. The bullets came fast, the screams even faster. Franks and Tish fought side by side, but in the chaos, she was taken. For 3 days, Franks tore Mexico apart looking for her. When he found her, she was alive, but different. Something in her eyes had changed. "They said they'd make you watch me die," she whispered, clinging to him. Frank swore he'd never let that happen. The slow descent. Tish returned to work, but something was off. She was colder, more distant. She still loved Franks, but a wall had been built between them, one made of fear and unspoken trauma. Franks noticed. He tried to break through, but Tish wouldn't let him. "You can't save me from this," she told him one night, sitting on the hood of his car. "I can damn well try." But the past had already caught up with her. Navarro wasn't done. He wanted revenge, and he knew exactly how to hurt Franks. The inevitable tragedy. The final mission should have been routine, a simple bust. But nothing was ever simple with Navarro. Tish went in first against Frank's orders. She had a lead, a way to take Navarro down for good. But it was a trap. The explosion rocked the entire street. Franks barely made it inside in time to find her. Tish was bleeding out, a gunshot wound to the stomach. "Damn it, Tish, stay with me," Franks begged, pressing his hands against the wound. She smiled weakly. "You always were terrible at goodbyes. Don't you dare." But it was too late. Tish Delgado, the only woman who had ever truly known Mike Franks, died in his arms. And in that moment, something inside him died too. A love that never stood a chance. Franks never spoke of Tish again. Not to Gibbs, not to Jenny, not to anyone. But in the quiet moments when the tequila burned his throat and the desert wind howled, he could still hear her voice. Their love story was never meant to have a happy ending. It was a tragedy from the start. And Mike Franks would carry that grief for the rest of his life. Would you like any changes to the tone or details?